beneficiaries of war, they're actually genocide. After independence, murder started in the rank of the army. In 1972, Amin gave orders to kill soldiers of the Acholi and the Lango tribes because Obote was a member of the Lango tribe. In his own view, he turned the entire two tribes into his enemy. At that moment, the Acholis were the majority in the army, and they became a threat to his rule. High-ranking officers were killed first. The other members of the tribe were ordered and detained in various barracks in Uganda, where they were murdered in cold blood, either by shooting, bombing, or stabbing them one by one. Their bodies were disposed of in nearby rivers. He established the military units manned by Southern Sudanese, Nubians, and members of his own Kakwa tribes. The units were known for their brutality and murdering members of Uganda elite, from ministers to judges, prominent Ugandans, creating a reign of terror. All across Uganda. The message was clear. Any opposition to his government or to his rule has to go. Let me be honest with you. The legacy of Idi Amin Dada is back to haunt Uganda once again in the 21st century. We are witnessing a rule that is characterized by economic deterioration, social disintegration, and massive violation of human rights. Uganda youth are being murdered, tortured, kidnapped, and tried in military courts. As I said before, the ghost of Luwero, the ghost of Acholi genocide, is back to haunt us once again. We have spent 20 years, more than 20 years in the camp. Our people suffered a lot. Every time I go to bed, I see a picture of a young Acholi woman who was stripped naked in Gulu town. Her picture keep coming back day in, day out. I can't get it out of my mind I can't forget the brutality in which this poor lady was stripped naked by the government troops, and they shaved up the hair around her vagina. It hurts. And today, we, the Acholis, pretend that nothing ever happened. I saw cows being driven out of Acholi land toward Kampala. We saw a lot of people being murdered. But still, today, we the people of Acholi land seem to have forgotten everything that happened. We the people of northern Uganda, we have forgotten the suffering our people had for more than 25 years. War and occupation of Acholi land, occupation of northern Uganda. A lot of people have made a film about the atrocities taking place. The Ebony Battlers documentary film called A Brilliant Genocide, as the Uganda-American publisher Milton Alimadi says in the film. Uganda military massacre so many people in northern Uganda. But at the same time, he had very good relationship with the financiers and development partners. As long as he does what they want, there was no problem. There was no interruption. As long as they continue to finance his government without any interruption, the United States, the development partners, who closed their eyes to what was going on in Acholi land and northern Uganda. When Uganda troops under the control of M7 drove 2 million Acholi people into concentration camp, forced to go into a concentration camp. Pretending that they wanted to protect the Acholi people, but that was a lie. At that time, the army had failed to defeat the rebels. They pretended that they were going to protect them, but instead it caused a lot of problems to our people. People were dying at the rate of 1,000 every week in concentration camp. Uganda soldiers then introduced a new weapon of war when they started raping both men and women, spreading HIV in the camps. The world pretended that nothing was happening in Uganda. Development partners endorsed the government of Museveni because they considered him at that moment of time one of the breed of new leaders in Africa. And he was given a free passport to kill whenever he feel like. And that is exactly what he did to the people of Acholi land. If you know anybody who lost their life during more than 25 years of suffering in concentration camp, mention their names in your comment to 10, and we are going to make sure that the list with names of those people we lost in that genocide, the people we lost during Idi Amin time, should be honored and their names kept alive. Let me be clear. And let's get started. It is very easy to forget who we are. It is very easy to blame one person for the problem, for the killing, for the genocide we had and is going on in Uganda up to today. Let me be honest with you. Putting our people into a concentration camp and keeping them there for more than 25 years brought with it another problem. A broken society, a derailed mindset, and we don't trust one another anymore because the people at home don't like the people in the diaspora. They claim that the people in the diaspora is the source of their suffering. While the people in the diaspora says, no, we are not the source of the problem, and we don't have to hate one another for it. We don't have to. Let me be honest with you. As we embark on developing a database for those we lost, I lost a lot of people too. Let's look back and try to get the truth out. As I said before, you cannot blame one person for what has taken place in northern Uganda. Let me go back and remind you, some people at home and some people in diaspora, that the genocide that took place in Acholi land, we all share the blame. I remember that the MPs, the actually leaders, including Bigombe, ordered the recruitment of more than 300 youth per sub-county to help Uganda government fight the rebels. They have set Acholis against the Acholis. They stand these boys to home guard and send them to fight LRA. Let me be clear. Let's go back and look at the truth now. More than 300 youth, actually youth, per county. It's a lot of people. In 1995, around 1995, 1996, Mugisa Muntu, Lieutenant General Mugisa Muntu, admitted that they have more than 18,000 youth fighting alongside the Uganda government in Congo. These youth were trained with the support of our leaders, with the support of our member of parliament, with the support of the Acholis people at that time. You recruited those youth. They were trained at Lugore prison farm. Some were trained in Lukome prison farm. Some of those people were trained in Gulo. Mugisa Muntu then admitted that it did happen. The way I see it, we set one another against one another. And those people, there will come a time, those actually leaders, the religious leaders, the cultural leaders, and Bigombe will have to come out and tell us the truth. What did happen to those youth who were sent to fight in Congo? If we keep accusing Joseph Kony to have abducted more than 20,000 of our youth, making them slaves, then why can't we ask the same question to our leaders, the actually leaders, including Bigombe, cultural leaders, religious leaders? What were you doing when they were recruiting more than 18,000 actually youth, to go and fight LRA, to go and fight in Congo. We have to have an answer. We have to stop this nonsense that it is the diaspora who are causing the problem at home. It is the diaspora who are financing rebellion. No. You did finance the rebellion yourself by setting Acholis to fight against Acholi. That is what you have to accept. You know, the government of Uganda was not able to beat the LRA militarily. They drove the civilian population to the camp. They call it protection camp. But in fact, it was these people protecting the army. They were the one in the front line. And you are the one who recruited those kids, not the people in the diaspora. Here, there should be accountability. Here, we should be given opportunity to know the truth to what happened to those youth who were fighting alongside the government in Congo. Did they come back? I lost a lot of people. I lost my sister's children. Nobody want to give me the answer. I lost my uncle. Nobody want to give me an answer. So you, the people at home, you have also a lot to answer. Tell us what happened to those boys. Did their family get compensated? Did they come back? What happened to them? Did they desert the army? Most of us would like to know. Before we start jumping left and right, accusing one another, let's look at things very carefully. As I said before, a genocide has taken place. We had been killed for a long time. And then to my surprise, and let me tell you today, sometimes I don't even understand our own people. You have here somebody who raped your father, who raped your mother, who raped your sister, who killed you, your people, throwing them into a pit latrine, and you still pretend as nothing happened. You pretend that there's nothing wrong. And to my surprise, you still share the same bed with a man who raped your father, your mother. So I don't understand it. I don't get the logic behind it. Let me be clear. Genocide had taken place in Acholi land. Whether you like it or you don't like it, it's the truth. I had been hearing people talking today. They are saying, yeah, they're actually people at a just cause to protect themselves. They have paid the price for being an Acholi. They have seen the best of Butcher. They have seen the best of Butcher. That one you can't deny it. But let me tell you, if we want to save the next generation, we have to start changing our mindset now. Accusing people in the diaspora is not going to help. Let's both, all of us, sit down and talk. We don't want people who recruited those youth to die without telling us the truth. Thank you for listening. I will be back.